Engine mounts. This is another update on the Insight. I've made some pretty good progress. The engine is in there. So I've got all three mounts built, welded, painted, installed. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough of what it is. On the passenger side here, I've got a steel bracket that I made, welded together, bolts to the factory location on the engine where the normal engine mount would go. I've got a 94 to 01 Integra driver's side engine mount that I cut shorter because it was too long. So that gives just enough room for this bolt here. So I'll cut this off. And then it's about 10 millimeters narrower than the Insight mount here. So I welded a stack of washers together to space that out. And when you tighten it, it's real sturdy. The bolt is a 10 millimeter bolt, but the hole in the mount is 12 millimeters. I've got a spacer in there to make up the difference. We'll see if it matters, if it gives me any problems. On the driver's side, I've got the factory Insight mount here, and then I've got this steel bracket that I welded together that puts the engine right where it needs to be. And then in the back, I've got this big steel mount that goes from the factory Insight mount. You can see it, the aluminum mount there that it's bolted to. All these mounts are full of window weld polyurethane too. And then I've got this mount picked up on a bolt here, 3 bolts on the back of the block, and I've got 1 bolt down low, so it's got 5 bolts connecting it to the block, and it's 1/4 inch. It's pretty sturdy. I'm not worried about that thing giving me trouble. I do have an axle in, so I've got the Accord half shaft from like a 03 to 05 Accord, or intermediate shaft there, which is a little shorter than the one on the RSX. I've got an axle in the passenger side for a 03-ish Civic hybrid. So that's one of the shorter axles with the correct splines that you can get. That's just a Rock Auto special here. One thing that kind of bugs me about it is I bought the one that's got the smaller, right here, it's got the smaller inner CV joint tripod bearing, so I don't think that's going to be the final one, but it fits. I don't have one in the driver's side yet. What I tried to put in the driver's side didn't work, so I can show you how this axle fits on there. So you push it in, it's flush with the, pretty close to flush with the hub where the nut sits. So based on my research, that says it's pretty good. I've run it through all suspension travel and it seems good. So I think the length is good on the passenger side. Driver's side axle, I tried getting this is from like a B series, you know, Integra or Civic, like Integra 94 to 01 type of a Integra. This one is too long. It doesn't even fit in there. So I'm going to have to rework that. My hope is, this one's got the bigger tripod bearing on it. My hope is that I can take, get another one, or maybe I'll just cut it in the middle, I'm not sure. If I can take the shaft out of this one, that's on the car, the passenger one, which is a little bit shorter, I think. If I could take the shaft out of that one and put it in this axle and make this shorter, and then buy another axle with the bigger inner tripod bearing. That's going to be the way I go. I'd rather not cut and weld this. I think it could work, but this is pretty hard steel, I think. Let's find out. Huh? Actually, it's pretty soft. I think that might be pretty weldable. Take a file to it. Yeah, that's still pretty hard, I guess. At least you can touch it with a file, so that gives me some hope that you could weld it if you need to. Last resort's going to be cut and weld this axle. I don't really like that idea. I'll sleeve it if I do that. And it will really just be for to get everything running. I don't think I'm going to try to put much power through one of these. So as long as it's stock, naturally aspirated, that'll probably hold, but if I do some drag racing with it or something, that's not going to do the job. So that's my update for today. Making pretty good progress, slowly but surely. Having fun, that's the important part. So here we are.